Hello, good evening. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ricardo Gloria, and it is an honor to be here with you all tonight. Tonight, it's a very exciting evening. It's going to be a great time. We're going to be sharing some very valuable information. And I'm telling you, when I say valuable, we're going to be listening to one of the icons in the industry of blockchain and cryptocurrency around the world. One of the persons that has made has helped a lot of people. He's educated a lot of people around the globe. And before we do that, I'm going to introduce you tonight to a gentleman that has been helping us here the last few months, leading the company. And this is our president, the president of CoinMD. This gentleman, ladies and gentlemen, not only has the experience of the business, he's been on an SVP level 20 years on corporate America. Not only he's got the experience of leading, he's been a president of 4 companies before. Not only he's got the experience of working of the field, he's created a full-time income in direct sales 4 times already. And on top of that, he's been married for over 30 years to his beautiful wife, Kim. He's got 3 daughters. And if that was just a little, I mean, the big thing of everything is that he loves people, he loves helping people, and he loves bringing the best out of people. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Steve Gottberg tonight with us, the president of CoinMD. Mr. Steve Gottberg, are you with us, sir?
I am here, Ricardo. Am I coming through okay?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. Welcome.
Well, thank you, and welcome to each of our guests this evening. It's always great to have such great participation in these webinars. And tonight is going to be exciting because you're going to see a bit different flair tonight. And we're going to kind of jump right into that. But I do want to encourage you to stay afterwards too. We have just a person or two that deserves a big shout out, but we're going to save that to the end because we want to focus on this content for this evening. So with that, Ricardo, I'm going to share just one slide to get us kicked off here. And that slide is this one right here. We focus on, there's 2 slides on which we focus quite a bit here at CoinMD. And one is this, the 4 pictures that this creates in your mind, being the Groupon of healthcare, the savings, the Amazon of healthcare, the choices, the Bitcoin of healthcare, okay, the trust in the blockchain, and the Herbalife of healthcare, okay, the home-based business faction of our presentation. And we have been so focused, the other slide, if I were to put that up here, would have been the use case and the usability of the coin. That being the key, that being a key difference between CoinMD and the other 2,000 plus cryptocurrencies out there today. Because as we say, CoinMD, we are at the convergence where cryptocurrency meets the world of healthcare. We are the world's first universal healthcare marketplace to accept cryptocurrency. That's an exciting space. And we've spent the last 6 months, 5 months, really preparing our marketplace, that CoinMD Choice Marketplace. We're so close to rolling that out live 24/7. We've already run transactions on it, and you can watch a recording of that. But we focus on that so much. Why? Because the use case behind the coin, the usability of the coin is what will drive the demand of the coin, and increased demand drives the value and price of a coin. Okay, great. And we focus on that and focus on that. But what we've learned in listening to the field, best ideas always will come from the field, is that, you're all saying, wait a minute. One of the reasons we came to CoinMD is this guy, Tom McMurrin, the founder, the CEO of the company. We knew he was one of the world's top 5, foremost experts in the world of cryptocurrency. We know he's got an Amazon bestseller called The 7th Disruption. It's one of the reasons we were attracted to CoinMD. And I thought back and said, that's one of the things that attracted me here, because a year and a half before I even talked to Tom the first time, even in a meeting, on a phone, anything, before we had our first conversation, I knew he was one of the top foremost experts in cryptocurrency. And that's why I was so in awe the first time I met him, actually. And I used his materials. I used his book to educate my team I was putting together, Carl's team he was putting together. We worked closely in doing that. We used his videos. He was an expert, and is an expert in this field. So tonight, what we're going to see, we're going to go back a little bit. And let's go back to the Bitcoin of healthcare. Let's talk more about cryptocurrency this evening. And with that, I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can bring on, okay, I'm going to try to stop sharing my screen so I can bring on the founder of this company, the CEO, the visionary. I mean, a guy that can just absolutely see the vision of where cryptocurrency can go, especially in solving problems. And like one of his mentors has always said, Tom, if you want to build a massive company, find a massive problem, come in with a massive solution, and therein lies a massive opportunity for those members that choose to join you and help spread the word, help spread the cause of what you're doing. And so that's why tonight we're going to back up and talk a little bit more about the Bitcoin of healthcare and some items related to this, things, questions you may have and say, I'd like to know more about this. How am I going to do that? Well, tonight we're going to do a little Q&A format. And so first of all, let me make sure that we've got Tom here. So founder, visionary, CEO of CoinMD, Tom McMurrin. Are you out there, Tom?
I'm here. Can you hear me, Steve?
I can barely hear you. Is that me, Ricardo, or is he coming through okay to you?
Testing, 1, 2, test.
It's a little low, but...
A little low? Let me put the microphone over here in front of me.
Hey, there you go. Loud and clear. Thank you, sir.
Much better.
Awesome.
Okay.
Great. Well, it's awesome to be here. Thank you, Steve. What an honor to work with Steve. A lot of people know him from the industry and understand the just the strengths that he brings to the company. And Steve and I are kind of a dynamic duo. He's great at operations and motivating people, and I'm great at picking up a sword and going out in the field and knocking things down, and bringing ideas home. So I'm excited tonight. I over the last hour I just threw together some slides just based on material that I've really worked on over the last 3.5, 4 years and educating people on cryptocurrency and just some of the ideas that there are questions like, what is mining? What is blockchain? What is cryptocurrency? What are nodes? Things like that. It's kind of like, if you don't really know what those terms mean, you're kind of in the dark, when you're dealing in cryptocurrency. And so I want to talk a little bit about that. And then I'm also going to talk about disruption. I want you to know where we're going with CoinMD. And I feel it's important that you understand the first mover and what really happened with cryptocurrency and why it works. And tonight, I'm even going to give somebody some money over the internet using Bitcoin. I'm gonna do a bankless transaction. Of course, if I can find my phone, Laura. So hopefully my wife caught that hint. But anyway, I'm super excited about sharing a little bit about CoinMD. And the one thing I want you to know is our technology that we built CoinMD on is built on the same technology that I'm sharing with you tonight. And that's exciting because the world's experts, the billionaires, they are saying that this technology will lift more people out of poverty than any technology in history. And you know what, Jimmy, that's all I need to hear. That's all I need to hear. If I could work in a space that could lift more people out of poverty than any technology in history, that's all I needed to hear. I honestly, I don't care if it's medical. I don't care if it's, global reserve cryptocurrency. I don't care if it's money remittance. If it's going to lift people out of poverty, I'm in. I think that's one great thing about the industry we're in. And that's one thing that maybe you ought to get excited about is, hey, I could be in a space where I wake up every day and I'm like, I'm jazzed about what I'm doing. I'm super excited about this. And so before I get into it, let's talk a little bit about cryptocurrency and let's get a little bit of education first. And I'll share some of my favorite trainings that I've done over the years and really help you understand, what the heck is this stuff? That's kind of what everybody goes. It's like crypto, what? And so talk about the world's first universal healthcare marketplace that accepts cryptocurrency, folks, that had a genesis in a technology called blockchain and Bitcoin. And we're going to talk a little bit about the difference between the two. But what the heck is cryptocurrency? Let me blow up my screen here so y'all can see it. All right. Get a thumbs up if you can see it. Ricardo, got a thumbs up from you, Ricardo? All right.
Clear.
Awesome. Well, let me go through these first. It's kind of like a lot of people say, what the heck, crypto what? Crypto sounds like cryptic. It sounds like something that's underground. It sounds like something that should be illegal. But crypto just really means it's secure. And so if somebody says, I've got cryptocurrency, what they're saying is, I've got secure currency. And so that's the one thing. You need to kind of change your frame of reference on what you think cryptocurrency is. It's not something that is darknet. It's not something that's for hackers. It's not something that's for terrorists. It's secure currency. It's actually for smart billionaires. It's for smart business people. It's for savvy investors who want the attributes that the best investments in the world have. And by the way, Bitcoin is the single biggest, largest, highest returning investment in the history of the world. There's absolutely nothing that even comes close to the return that Bitcoin has provided people that invested in it at an early stage. And I've got good news for you, folks. Bitcoin is just the AOL of our industry. If you remember the internet days in 1990, 92, AOL came out somewhere in that era, 93, 94. Okay, some of you are going, Tom, I was a little bit young then. I don't really remember that. That was 25 years ago. And so we're still very early stage on this opportunity, folks. The Googles, the YouTubes, the Amazons, the Zappos, the multi-billion-dollar Twitters, Facebooks, they have not even been invented yet, folks. So if you're excited about being in an industry that's in its infancy, this is it. So my training tonight, what I want to start with is we're going to talk about what's a node. How many of y'all know what a node is? Raise your hand. Anybody know what a node is? Okay. We're going to talk about nodes. We're going to talk about blockchain. It's an unusual word, but blockchain is the underlying technology that makes all of this work. And again, what is cryptocurrency? I've already kind of answered that question, but I'm going to give you a little bit better illustration with my Mustang example, which has helped tens of thousands of people, if not hundreds of thousands of people around the world understand what cryptocurrency is and why it actually has value. And then ultimately, we're going to talk a little bit about mining. I'm not going to go into great depth into mining because I believe mining is something that will eventually go away. I believe that there'll be different ways of mining coins, and I'll talk about the different types of minings. I'll give you some examples of mining, but mining is a complex activity that most people don't participate in. In fact, I'd say 90% of the people involved in cryptocurrency do not do mining. Okay, so that should make you feel very comfortable. A lot of people think that you have to do mining. You don't. And in fact, I personally I bought one mining contract, but I've never personally done any mining myself. Okay, I just bought a contract and let somebody mine for me. And honestly, if I would have put that money directly into Ethereum, I would have made so much more money. And so I'm not a big fan of mining. I know some people are. I'm not. It's just something I'd rather put my money directly into a cryptocurrency or invest in an early stage ICO before the coin goes public. To me, that's where the big money's made, especially in this market right now. And so let me get into what a node is first. And this is a website that you can go to called BitNodes. And BitNodes, a node is a computer that's running blockchain software with the purpose of creating consensus with other node computers. Okay, let me repeat that. A node is a computer that's running blockchain software that really has a purpose of creating consensus Another word for consensus is agreements with other node computers, okay? And you can see right now, as of Monday, December 11th, just a few minutes ago, there's 11,742 nodes running around the world, okay? These are all computers that are running blockchain software. These are big nodes. I mean, these aren't your little home-based computers. These are big, super mainframe computers around the world. In fact, the Bitcoin blockchain is 450 times more powerful than all of the supercomputers in the United States combined, and 100 times more powerful than all. And it's probably, those numbers have probably gone up, by the way. That's a last year number. So I probably got to figure out the updated numbers, but just in the United States alone, there's 3,262 computers running blockchain software. In Germany, almost 2,000. In France, almost 1,000. In China, I'll bet there's more than 767 in China. I bet there is, okay? I bet a lot of them aren't showing up but because of their networks. But when you look at the nodes that are running around the world, and by the way, there's 104 more countries listed below that are running nodes, okay? So that's just the top 10 countries. And essentially what happens, folks, is these nodes work together, and when I conduct a transaction with somebody, these nodes have my bank balance on them. So these nodes are running what they call a distributed ledger, which is basically a balance sheet, an accounting balance sheet. And all of these nodes have my bank balance on these nodes all around the world. So if all of those little purple dots in the U.S. disappear, and the U.S. somehow takes Bitcoin offline, which is impossible unless you shut down the whole internet. But let's say an electronic magnetic pulse bomb goes off in the United States. How you like that? I always love that. What happens if an EMP goes off in the United States? I said, well, we got bigger problems than our money, buddy. You know, I always get that question from the conspiracy theorist that believes that the EMP is going to take out the whole United States grid. But let's say that happens. That's okay, because see that little node down there in Argentina, down by Buenos Aires? That little node's got my balance. Oh, that one just went offline. That one down in South Africa. See that one down in Cape Town? Yeah, that one's got my balance on it. How about the one over in Singapore or Asia or Thailand or South Korea? All of these computers have my balance on them. Okay, so I'm pretty secure. Even if the United States goes out of business, my nodes, I got nodes all over the world that are carrying my bank balance. Okay, and so that's what a node is. A node is a computer that's running blockchain software, and the purpose is these computers create consensus. So when I send money to Ricardo, a bunch of these computers start working together, and they say, hey, does Tom have the money to send to Ricardo? And then all of a sudden they create consensus, they create agreement, and that gets a confirmation. And guess what? Ricardo gets his money in milliseconds. Okay, and so that's really what a node is. And so nodes are essential to running a blockchain. You've got to have computers. Now you say, why would you run a node? Well, nodes are what are doing the mining. They're getting free coins for helping take care of the network, okay? They get rewarded with coins and points and energy for helping create this consensus, okay? So that's what nodes are. And I feel like that's important to cover up front, because a lot of people are like, well, dang, Tom, how does blockchain software work, okay? It's a software, folks. Any one of you can go to bitcoin.org. You can download it on your computer tonight, and you can become a node. Any one of you, okay? Any one of you can start running Bitcoin blockchain software and become a node, all right? And lots of people do it. Now, I will tell you this. If you think you're going to mine, you go to Best Buy and you buy the top-of-the-line supercomputer at Best Buy, just know that the best, highest-powered computer at Best Buy will take about 3,500 years to mine one block of coins, okay? I don't know about you, but I don't have that kind of time on my hands. All right. So that's why people are using these massive supercomputers all over the world to mine coins. It's become very, very competitive. That's why I'm not a huge fan of mining, by the way, because the competition level is huge and it increases. And honestly, if you're in the mining business, you can't afford to pay more than a 1 or 2% commission to anybody, because the margin is so thin when it comes to mining and what's going on. So that's what a node is. Now let's talk about what is a blockchain. Okay, well, a blockchain is a sequential chain of blocks of data that are attached to each other with an encrypted number that's created by the nodes. Okay, now I want you to envision in your mind, Ricardo, a zipper. All right, and that zipper, if you see down there the blocks down there at the bottom, the zipper, one side of the zipper is on this block and the other part of the zipper is on this block. Okay, the nodes actually zip these two blocks together. On one side, let's just say hypothetically, there's a 128-bit encryption number, and on the other side of the block that it's attaching to, there's another 128-bit encryption number. Okay, so imagine each block gets zipped, and when those zippers come together, you've created one of the most secure blocks of data that's ever been created, like unhackable. Okay, so when you think about each block, now in the event of Bitcoin, each block of data is 10 minutes of data. Okay, so a block is a time-based length of data that's sealed up every 10 minutes. So every 10 minutes, Bitcoin creates a block of data. The nodes work together to create consensus. They seal the block with a zipper to the next block of data. Okay, which means if you're going to hack one of them, you got to be able to hack every single one of these zippers that zipped all these together. Okay, so I like using the zipper example because I know you all are familiar with a zipper, but each block is zipped together. All right, and that's important for you to understand, because when you take two encryption numbers and you put them together, it creates a high level of security. That's why they call it cryptocurrency, folks. It is highly secure money. Okay. Now, every block has transactions in it. It has the different hash values of each transaction, which is a serial number. Every transaction's got a hash value or a serial number. Okay. And so each block of data, you can actually look at a block of data and you can see every single transaction that occurred in the block. All right. So that's what a blockchain is. And a lot of people say, well, Tom, I don't really understand that. You don't have to, just so you know. By a show of hands, how many of y'all know what TCP/IP is? Just raise your hand. Okay. Not many of you. Okay. But you use the internet every day, right? Okay, TCP/IP makes the internet work. Blockchain technology makes cryptocurrency work. All right, cryptocurrency. Let me give you another example, an analogy that I use. When we think about the mobile phone, the mobile service that powers your phone, in the upper left-hand corner, you see 5 bars. You see the letters LTE or 4G or 5G. Most of you don't know what that is. You don't know how mobile technology works, but you've got apps on your phone that you do know how those work, right? You know how your Twitter app works. You know how your Snapchat app works. You know how your Facebook app works, okay? So what I want you to think of is blockchain is like the mobile service that powers your phone. The apps that are on top of your phone, those are the cryptocurrencies. Okay, so if I want to exchange value, say with Harvey, I can just click on the app that's on my phone and I can say, I want to exchange value with this person. Well, the app is going to ask me for his account number. I put in his account number and I can transfer value to him. But the value actually transfers via the mobile service, or the underlying technology transfers the money, the value, to Harvey. Okay, the app just allows me to make it easier. For example, I don't know how many of you remember learning DOS in high school when we had to learn computer programming, when they first came out with the command prompts, and we had to learn computer code, and we had to learn, /dir to go to the directory, and we had to, I think that's the only one I remember, actually, now that I think about it, but we had to learn the code for that. I mean, today I know like Control B and Control V and stuff like that on my keyboard, but back then we had to learn computer language, and it wasn't until the browser came along that the masses were able to understand computer language, because the browser actually translated that. Okay, well, an app, somebody who's really good can transfer value via the blockchain. But most of us are going to need an app like Bitcoin. Most of us are going to need an app to learn how to transfer value. And so when we talk about blockchain, folks, I think it's important for you to understand blockchain is the underlying technology that makes cryptocurrency work. Without blockchain, cryptocurrency would not work. Without TCP/IP, the internet would not work. So there's always without a combustion engine, the automobile would not work. Without a semiconductor, your Fitbit and your mobile phone would not work. Are y'all starting to see a trend here? There's always an underlying technology that makes something work, okay? And in this case, it's blockchain technology. And blockchain technology is actually simple to understand when you think about it, because all it is just blocks of data, and it's a software that creates consensus between two parties that allows them to transact value without using an intermediary. Let me repeat that. A blockchain creates consensus between two parties where they can do business with each other without using an intermediary. Now, I'm going to talk about disruption here in a minute, and I'm going to talk about some of the industries that this software is going to disrupt. Because if I can remove the intermediary from a business, whether it's car sales, I was talking to a friend of mine tonight, one of my old neighbors, if I could remove the salesperson and allow the person to buy the car directly from the manufacturer, why do we need a car dealership anymore? Why do we need a car salesperson anymore? All we need is the service department, okay? So I can actually, any job that any person that has a job where they create trust between two parties to do a transaction, your days are limited, okay? And you may not believe me, but trust me, you are probably going to be the same one who thought the internet wasn't going to disrupt your industry either, and it probably did, okay? And so that's what a blockchain is, folks. So I wanted to talk about that, all right? So now let's talk about what is cryptocurrency. A lot of people are like, what's cryptocurrency look like? Well, it doesn't look like a 1965 Mustang, but I can tell you there's a lot of similarities. Cryptocurrency is a secure currency that allows people to transfer value to each other without the need of a financial intermediary, which means I can actually transfer value to somebody without using a bank, all right? And hopefully we'll get to do that tonight. Hey, Laura. Find my wife so you can find my phone. But anyway, with this, folks, the example that I gave, I was sitting outside with my wife one day, and we were actually talking about cryptocurrency. And she said, "Can you explain it to me? What is cryptocurrency?" And so we had a Land Rover sitting out in the driveway, and we had a GMC Yukon sitting out in the driveway. And I said, well, the best example I can give you is if I wanted to trade you my Yukon for your Land Rover, would we trade cars? What would actually be the value that we would trade with each other? What would be the transfer of ownership with that? And I said, it would be the title. She said, the title. And I said, yeah, but what does the title have on it that allows us to transfer value, that identifies the value? And she said, a VIN number. And I said, right. I said, so a VIN number on a car is a lot like a cryptocurrency number. And that brought me to the 1965 Mustang example. And a lot of people have aha moments when they see this, because you got to understand that cryptocurrency, when you publish a cryptocurrency to the internet, it is a limited edition, just like a 1965 Mustang. So when you create Bitcoin and you say there's 21 million coins, what you're saying is there's 21 million serial numbers or units of value, and that's all there ever will be. Just like the 1965 Mustang, there were 644,500 units of value. How did Mustang track the value of every single Mustang? What did each Mustang have unique that the other one didn't? Well, it was a VIN number, folks. That was the one unique thing on every 1965 Mustang. It was different on every single Mustang. And that, folks, is like a cryptocurrency number. So in 1965, let's say we're going to create Mustang coin. Okay, we're going to create 644,500 VIN numbers, and we're going to stamp them on some cars. Okay, the opening price for our VIN number is going to be $2,320. So that's the value of the VIN number the day it came out. Well, Mustang was one of the number one selling car in the world. In fact, it still is, but the 1965 Mustang was. And today, a brand new mint condition, all numbers matching, showroom condition 1965 Mustang sells for at $250,000 at the Mecum auction. Okay, why is that? Well, number one, it's a finite asset. After 644, they did not make 644,501 of them, folks. They made 644,500. There has never been another 1965 Mustang printed since that last number 500 was printed. Okay, and what has happened to the community around the world of Mustangs? It's grown. The number of people that want a 65 Mustang today is greater than the number of people that wanted them in 1965. What has also happened to the Mustangs? Are they all still on the road? Are all 644,500 of them still in existence? No, I bet probably half or less are still on the road today. Okay? And that's why today when you think of supply and demand, those VIN numbers, some people are saying, well, why are those Bitcoin serial numbers so expensive right now? Why are they $17,000 or $18,000? Well, because there's a limited supply of them, folks. They're finite. They're not making any more of them. They're digital gold, okay? And so supply and demand is what drives everything, folks. Beachfront real estate, what drives the value of beachfront real estate? Is it because it's beachfront real estate? No, it's because the demand for beachfront real estate increases. Beachfront real estate is sand, okay, with a nice view. That's all it is. Okay, but what drives the demand of beachfront real estate is the demand of everybody moving to Florida, or everybody moving to Galveston, or everybody moving to, California, and so it boils down to everything of value that we buy, folks, is tracked by a serial number, whether it's a deed number, whether it's a QSIP number, or a bond number, or a VIN number. Folks, look at the numbers on your dollar bills. Those are serial numbers, okay? Everything that we do in value, it has a number on it. Heck, our marriage license has got a number on it. Some are worth more than others, right? But it's funny. So anyway, let's talk about mining here for a minute. Mining, I like to say, and I'm saying this tongue-in-cheek, but mining is the process of creating currency out of thin air using computers or nodes. Okay, and when you create a blockchain, you basically say how many coins can it create every X number of minutes. And once you publish it, just like the number of coins you're going to create, you can't change it. You can program it to change, but once you upload it to the internet, folks, you can't change those equations. Okay, and so a predetermined output of Bitcoin, I think what they did was they set it up initially for 10,000 coins to come out every 10 minutes. And then after 7 years, they cut that number in half. In another 7 years, it'll cut in half. The remaining 6 million coins that have not been mined yet in Bitcoin will take another 100 years to mine. Okay, they can't come out any faster than that. It can't finish in 80, can't finish in 60 years. Predetermined output, the last 6 million coins will take 100 years to come into existence. Okay, so it creates scarcity when you do that, right? And so this is mining. Let me simplify it for you. So all of you are supercomputers, right? Jimmy, you got a supercomputer mind. Ricardo's got one. Let's see. Jose's got one. Let's see. We know Steve's got one. Who else we got on here? But we've got all these people with supercomputer minds. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you to give me an equation that equals 5 on your fingers. Give me an equation that equals 5 on your fingers. Okay, Ricardo's got 10,000 coins. Jimmy, come on, you got one? No, you can't use that one. Ricardo used that one. You got to have a different one. See, okay, there you go. Okay, so Ricardo used 2 plus 3, and Jimmy used 1 plus 4. Okay, and a 10-minute cycle went by. Each of you got 5,000 coins. You split the coins because you both figured out the equation. Now, I'll bet a lot of you that are watching this could pick up on that now. So if I ask again, how many of you can give me an equation that equals 5, but you can't use 1 plus 4, and you cannot use 2 plus 3, okay? What have we done? Now if more of you know there's 10,000 coins available the next 10-minute round, what's going to happen? More of you are going to compete for those coins, aren't you? Okay? And then those coins are going to be distributed to more people. And then all of a sudden you have millions of people trying to come up with an equation that equals 5. Well, guess what? There's only 21 million equations that equal 5, according to the algorithm I've written in my blockchain. Okay? And what happens is when the last equation is given, all the coins are mined, and there will never be another coin ever distributed again. All the coins will be in distribution. So when you think about what is mining, mining is the process of figuring out equations. Now remember, once you use that equation, you can't ever use it again. So, by process of elimination, it gets more and more competitive. And I know I was using humans as the supercomputers, but they actually use real computers to do these transactions. And you could only imagine how competitive Bitcoin is right now for people trying to mine coins and trying to figure out the equations that actually create the consensus that seal every block. So it's really interesting. So when you look at mining, and by the way, you heard me say that I think mining is something in 5 years none of you will even know about. You won't even do it, okay? Because there'll be different ways of distributing coins. Kind of like with CoinMD, we don't really use computer-based mining. We use your healthy activities to distribute your coins. So you might be wearing a Fitbit watch, and if you walk 100,000 steps, we'll give you 50 coins. Well, that's a form of mining, right? I mean, you're bringing coins into existence simply by doing 100,000 steps, or maybe you burn 1,000 calories. Okay, well, we'll give you 50 coins if you burn 1,000 calories. So if you're on the treadmill and you're at 600 calories and you go, if I go another 400, I'll get 50 coins, and these coins could be worth, $1 a piece one day or $4 a piece. I think I'm going to go ahead and go get those other 400 calories. I don't want to leave any money on the table. You know what I mean? Okay, and so when you think about mining, folks, the mining computers are what they call the nodes. Are the computers that create consensus that basically give us all the ability to do transactions with each other. Now, there's different types of mining out there. There's proof of work. There's proof of script. There's proof of authority. There's a whole bunch of different types of proofs of work, okay? Now, I'm going to let you look those up on the internet because you know what? Those things are so complicated to me, I don't even want to know about them, okay? But I do know the advantages and disadvantages of each of them because I have watched videos. We use a proof of script, which is very scalable, and it's something that works very well. We use the Litecoin technology. Bitcoin is proof of work. Well, proof of work, while it's highly secure, it has some disadvantages. Bitcoin's using more energy right now to mine coins than the entire country of Germany uses. Okay, so that's a problem. When you only have 3% of the world involved in Bitcoin right now, and you're using more energy than the country of Germany, that's got a scalability issue, okay? And Bitcoin knows it. It does have a scalability issue, and it's also limited to the number of transactions it can do per second, but it is the first mover. It will always be around. It is the pioneer, and it did prove the business model, okay? So that's really what mining is, and I hope that sheds a little bit of light. We've talked about nodes. We've talked about, what cryptocurrency is. We've talked about what blockchain is. We've talked about what mining is, okay? So I've already kind of touched on this slide. We're talking about a highly disruptive technology, folks. In 1794, Thomas Mead changed the world with a combustion engine. Most of you don't know how it works, but you turn the key every day and you go drive your car. In 1948, some guys from Fairchild Semiconductor, in Bell Labs, they created the semiconductor. Most of you don't know how it works, but I guarantee you everybody on this call has probably got a semiconductor within 1 foot of you, okay? In 1991, Tim Berners-Lee changed the world with TCP/IP, okay? That's the internet technology, the transmission protocol technology that makes the internet work. That's what transfers the packets of data to all of our computers, so they open up in these beautiful images and video screens and stuff like that. TCP/IP has changed the world. In 2009, Satoshi Nakamoto changed the world with blockchain technology, which we've already talked a little bit about tonight and why that's so significant. But I think what's really cool when you look at the similarities of TCP/IP, you all know how disruptive the internet's been, right? Okay? You look at these two individuals. Nobody knows what Satoshi Nakamoto is, so I just kind of picked a picture that kind of looks like a Satoshi Nakamoto, kind of stereotyping a little bit. But, Jimmy, I could have put your picture up there. You could be Satoshi. We never know. But, when you think about it, the TCP/IP connects computers that created the World Wide Web. Blockchain, creates the world's most powerful accounting log using the World Wide Web of computers. ISPs, internet service providers, browsers, and email became the first killer apps of the internet. Well, today we have cryptocurrency, we have Bitcoin, e-wallets, exchanges, and currencies are the first applications of blockchain technology. Then we went into the different iterations, folks. We went on to websites and we went on to e-commerce. And of course, that's going to be the next big iteration of blockchain technology and cryptocurrency is how do you make it usable? And one thing we can show you tonight is we actually are in that stage already with CoinMD. We're showing people how to make it usable. Of course, now we're into mobile banking and payments and SOMO-Fi, which is social mobile finance, and be your own bank with blockchain becomes a reality, and 14-year-olds are becoming millionaires, taking their allowances and investing it in cryptocurrencies, and 14-year-olds are becoming investment banks, folks, because of blockchain technology. And it's just amazing. If you've ever wanted to go back to 1990 and be there with Tim Berners-Lee, folks, you're there right now. Pretend I'm Tim Berners-Lee and I'm sharing with you the next big groundbreaking technology that's going to change the world. And I'll also give you a little hint. We're going to be in the healthcare industry, which is a $6 trillion industry. We're participating and leading the industry in that space and with CoinMD. And I'm excited to share a little bit about CoinMD tonight. But when we talk about disruption, folks, we're talking about a disruption occurs when you cut the core value of the core value chain that's vital to a company, industry, or country. We know Napster cut the value chain of the music industry. We know Netflix cut the value chain of Blockbuster video. In fact, wasn't Bernie Ebbers, who was the guy that was Wayne Huizenga, said that the internet will never be strong enough for people to download movies. And he thought Netflix was a joke. We know that Kodak got disrupted not by digital photography, but by mobile phones. The minute the mobile phone came out with a camera on it, Kodak was out of business because how many of you own Kodak mobile phones? Raise your hand. Good. None of you did, because they weren't in the mobile phone. Occasionally somebody will raise their hand and say, no, you didn't. Sorry, they weren't in the mobile phone business. You might have bought a Kodak mobile phone out of China, but it really wasn't a Kodak mobile phone. Trust me. Airbnb, we know, is disrupting the hospitality industry. How many of you have bought a set of encyclopedias in the last 5 years since Wikipedia has been in business? I would say that Wikipedia has cut the value chain of Encyclopedia Britannica. And we know that the oldest taxi cab company in the United States in San Francisco, Yellow Cab, has recently filed for bankruptcy. Guess where Uber's based out of? San Francisco. Okay. So I would say they're highly disruptive as well. And so these are all things that are very disruptive. Well, what if I could send money to you without using a bank? Would that be disruptive? And I tell everybody, I believe it would be. But before I go into this, let me pull up Ricardo. Ricardo, I'm doing this on purpose real quick so I can go find my phone so I can do a bankless transaction with somebody. But I'm going to unmute you. So don't take your finger off the trigger. You there?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about what you learned tonight and share with people. Ricardo really just ventured into cryptocurrency. Wouldn't you say about 6 months ago, or not even that? Was it that long ago?
Well, I've been supporting and kind of following you for a couple of years now, but really the dive in full blast is probably 4 or 5 months ago. So just excited.
Tell people,
ladies and gentlemen.
Tell people what's really helped you get to learn. And tonight, I don't know if you've ever seen me do that presentation tonight. You probably have, but anything open your eyes tonight about this? And then if you can, while I'm looking for my phone, would you just share with people the steps that you took to become educated about cryptocurrency? And is there been a big aha for you? That's what I want to know about.
Yes. Well, thank you, sir, for letting me share. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited tonight. As most of you, I know most of you, and obviously not the guests, but the CoinMDers and the cryptocurrency miners and everybody on here, just excited because we've been learning, obviously, and that's the key, to always stay on top of as much education as possible. That's when the magic really happens, because at the beginning, it's not that you don't believe, it's that you don't know. And that was me. It's not that I didn't believe. I mean, in this case, I remember when Mr. Tom McMurrin got a hold of me the first time a couple of years ago, and I'm like, okay. And he would send me some information, and I was like, wow, okay. And he would send me more, and I believed him because I know him. I just didn't understand it. And the more I look into it, the more confusing it got. But guess what? I started putting my head down. I started kind of reading up on it, watching videos, learning on whatever stories were coming out of it. And all of a sudden it clicks and it starts making sense. But the biggest moment for me was when he told me one time, do you remember the internet? And I said, yeah, I remember the internet. He said, do you think you'd ever use it? Did you think back then you ever use it? And I said, no, actually, I remember people having computers and sending emails back and forth. And I thought, I never send letters to anybody. Why would I need a computer to send letters without postage? That's just for people that write letters. Well, how naive in my part, thinking that was the only thing that was going to happen. That was just the first thing that happened on the internet, because just like you heard it a little while ago, we all use the internet. We cannot live without it. Literally, we have our business, we have our loved ones, we have everything on the internet now, and it's just amazing to know that just by being part of these webinars, by being part of the calls, by being part of anything that's available to us to learn, YouTube, which was one of my hangout spots a few months ago, you just learn, and all of a sudden it clicks, and when it clicks, then you want to start telling everybody, and that for me, what the biggest moment when he told me, just think about the internet, and I thought about it, and I'm like, you're right. But now everybody uses it. He goes, well, this blockchain is the same thing, and cryptocurrency is just one of the first applications. It just happens to be money, and a lot of people are following. Obviously, we're all following it, right? But we're just at the beginning of a huge new wave of an internet times 100, probably times 1,000. But at the end of the day, what I can tell you is keep educating yourself, keep learning. Don't ever miss an opportunity to hear any webinar, any knowledge, especially when you hear from people like Mr. Tom McMurrin, that I tell you what, he's always sharing with us and he's always teaching us and but there's always something new. And tonight, I'm telling you, as much as I've heard him before, I'm just taking notes right now. I'm just writing down stuff because he's on fire. So, sir, thank you very much for allowing me to be part of this and to run alongside you, and looking forward to teaching a lot more people together around the globe and helping a lot more people get educated here with cryptocurrency. God bless you.
Awesome. The good news is I found my phone. I had about 3 of you message me and says, I've been calling your phone. You don't hear it? I'm like, my mobile phone doesn't work on my farm, man. Let me do this. Anybody got a QR code they can pop up? Oh, you guys are ready. Look at these. Are these people trained or what? Check this out. But let me pull up Coach Bud real quick. I'll give you a couple of you, but I'm unmute you, Coach, first, and bring up your QR code on screen share. Let me go to speaker view so I can see it real big. And I got to go, hold on one second. I got Coach Bud, put you on spotlight video. And see if this is working for me. I still have Ricardo up there. Ricardo, can you hit cancel spotlight video real quick? Let me see if I can cancel that.
Done.
You got it. Okay, there we go. All right, so let me hit request, and I'm going to hit put my scanner up here and see if I can scan somebody's QR code real quick. All right, Coach Bud, are you ready? Let me unmute you real quick, buddy. Can we hear you, Coach Bud?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. You got your volume up there?
Yes, sir.
All right. Tonight's your lucky night. Let's just pretend I owe Coach Bud $100, and I've got to send him $100 via Bitcoin, and I'm going to knock a zero off there just to be fair to me, okay? But I'm hitting continue, and I'm hitting send right now, Bud. And it is now on your phone, so you can check your balance and pull it up. And I've got a couple other people I'll do this with. And let me hit spotlight video for you real quick. Not able to pull up the spotlight. Let me try Jose Miranda down there real quick. If you can turn up the volume on your phone too, but leave it there for a minute, Jose. Let me see if I can scan. I got yours, Jose. Turn up your volume, Jose, if you would. You there, Jose? Can I hear you?
Yep.
All right, Bud, you just got your transaction. So I just sent what just happened based on the education that I just gave. What just happened? Okay, some nodes around the world verified that I had the balance to send to Coach Bud, and when I did it, it deducted it from my balance sheet and put it on his balance sheet. Okay, so that's really all that just happened. You got your volume up there, Jose?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so by the way, I gave you a little bit of a wedding present, didn't I, one time? Didn't when I met with you?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what it turned out? Do you remember what it was? Was it $150 or what I gave you?
Like 149 something. It's worth like now almost $500.
$500. So it's gone up 3 times in value. That's pretty cool. Wouldn't you like every wedding present to go up 3 times in value?
Man, I wish I would have asked for Bitcoins for my wedding in September.
That's great.
Krista likes it.
Turn up your volume real quick for me.
Yeah, it's all the way up.
All right, I'm hitting send now. All right, it is you just received it. I didn't hear it ping, but maybe you have the notification.
It's right there.
Huh?
There it is.
There it is. So I just sent money. You're in Tulsa. I'm in Georgia. That happened in a millisecond. And let me go up to Jimmy Ta real quick. Keep it right there, Jimmy. And folks, what we're doing right now is what we were doing in 1990 is we're showing people how to send a communication, you know, without using an email, without using the post office.
Right there.
Let me see if I can pull you up there, Jimmy. I can't see it real quick. I keep getting Ricardo every time I pull up the full screen here. Let me go. There we go. That might be a little better right there. Jimmy, I think we got a little bit of glare. I can't pick yours up on the scanner, but let's see if I got anybody else up there. Let me try one more time, Jimmy. Keep it up there. No, you got a glare right in the middle of your screen. Come on, Miriam, bring it up there. You got it? I can't go full screen on my computer for some. There we go. I got it, Miriam. You're in business tonight, Miriam. So let's say I owe Miriam $1,000. I'm gonna knock a couple zeros off, Miriam, just to make it fair to me. And let me unmute you real quick. And I want to chat with you because you sent me a nice note today, Miriam. I want to talk about what's going on in your business real quick. But can I hear you, Miriam?
Won't unmute. Oh, now it is. Now it's unmuted.
There you go. We got you. All right, so I'm gonna hit send, put it up there so people can see it on the screen.
So now shall I press the receive?
No, you don't have to do anything. Just show your screen on the screen real quick. All right. So,
oh, okay. So.
All right.
I don't have anything for it to come through.
You just got it. So go ahead and hit the little bottom down the button. It says transactions at the bottom.
Oh. Yes. Received 11 seconds ago. Thank you.
You're welcome. Awesome. Okay. So folks, what we just did is we just showed you how disruptive digital currency is. We were able to send money without using a bank. And we did it over the internet. I simply scanned a QR code. They could have easily just sent me their account number. I could have cut and pasted it into my wallet and sent it to them that way. But I think you can see that when I can send money to somebody without using a bank, I've just cut the value chain that's vital to the existence of a industry, which is the banking industry. And so pretty interesting when you think about the dynamics of what we just did. And so let me do this. Let me jump over and just finish on a couple slides real quick. And what I'm going to do tonight is really just give you an opportunity to hear a little bit about CoinMD. Not much tonight, but we're gonna probably go about 30 more minutes. So hang in there. Wanted to give you a lot of value up front. I wanted you to know what nodes were, what blockchain was, what cryptocurrency was. But Monday nights is going to be one of those 90-minute sessions, folks. This is where you want to bring people that want the fire hose. They want to know it all. They're like, you know, I'm gonna dedicate an hour and a half to this tonight because I want to really get on the scent trail of what this is all about. So let me do this. I'll go back to my screen share, and we'll jump back to the presentation. So let me talk about just disruption for a minute. We've talked about some other disruptive technologies. Ricardo, do you see my screen? All right, awesome. So one of the big disruptions is going to be thermostats and smart grid neighborhoods, folks, where you're actually buying energy from each other's houses instead of going through the power company. And your thermostat will create what's called a store of value for you. So if I'm out at work and Ricardo lives next door to me and he's a stay-at-home dad and he's working from home and he needs some energy because he's sitting in the jacuzzi, you know, text messaging people his great home-based business like I was tonight. By the way, everybody who got a text message from me tonight, I was sitting in the jacuzzi when I did that. So I honestly was. It was funny. I was like so nervous I was going to drop my phone in there, but I'm like, I got to do this so I can say this. But no, I was literally sitting in the jacuzzi burning energy. And let's say Ricardo's house is right next to mine and he's at work. Well, flip-flop the story there. My thermostat calls his thermostat and says, hey, I need some of your solar energy. And Ricardo gets pinged on his phone that his smart thermostat is making him money, okay? And so that's one of the cool technologies that's coming out. By the way, you're not using Visa MasterCard for that. That's all blockchain based. And whether it's called Power Coin or it's called Energy Coin or E Coin or whatever it's going to be called, there's going to be some coin that actually transacts value amongst people that live in smart grid neighborhoods. By the way, this is already happening. This is not fictitious. They're already doing it in New York, okay? And then when you look at the next real big disruption, you talk about smart refrigerators and self-driving cars. These smart refrigerators, they have this smart think on them. They have these radar units. So when you take stuff in and out of the refrigerator, they actually track what's going on, on the actual refrigerator. And so it's interesting to see, say I'm down to 5 yogurts and I want it to reorder every time I'm below 5 yogurts. Well, the food manager will actually reorder for me, and a self-driving car will show up. And guess where the refrigerator is going to get the money from to buy the yogurt? Well, it's going to call the thermostat, and it's going to say, "Hey, thermostat, I need some money to buy some yogurts." Okay, and then a self-driving car is going to pull up. The other thing is really self-driving cars. A lot of you will have self-driving cars in the next 5 years that will go out and Uber while you're asleep, and they'll actually make you money. And folks, we won't be using Visa, MasterCard. It will all be cryptocurrency, and people will pay via their mobile phones. The other big disruption is going to be in the real estate industry, because smart contracts creating consensus between two parties without using an intermediary is a big deal, okay? Which means I'm not going to need a real estate broker. I'm not going to need a real estate agent. I'm not going to need a title inspector. I'm not going to need an escrow agent. I'm not going to need a closing attorney. I will be able to do everything verified through smart contracts, self-executing contracts that are all built on the blockchain, and I will be able to create trust between a buyer and a seller on a home without using any people. It will all be done via technology. So in fact, when I show up to that house, the door will unlock automatically because it's a Bluetooth lock, and it will recognize my phone. I will take a video tour of the property, a narrated video tour that the owner or the has created for me. I'll walk through the house. If I like it, I'll submit the buy contract, submit my offer. If they accept it, it will automatically create a contract. And the house closing, folks, will take minutes, if not seconds, for it all to happen. And then that 14-year-old investment banker who's a multimillionaire, he's going to loan you the money via a smart contract. He's going to be your mortgage broker, and he's going to loan you the money. And then every month, your payment's going to be automatically deducted from your e-wallet to pay for your mortgage payment. Folks, this is already happening, okay? This is not fantasy, all right? And these are just some of the exciting things that we have going on, in cryptocurrency. But as I tell people, there's a bigger disruption on the horizon. And as Steve has already alluded to it, the healthcare industry is in disarray. And the big idea of CoinMD, as he said, we're creating the Groupon of healthcare to save you money. We're creating the Amazon of healthcare to give you global choice. We're creating the Bitcoin of healthcare to give you a currency that goes up in value, that allows you to pay for expenses that are increasing in cost, okay? By the way, the older you get, the more expensive your medical care becomes. Do y'all know that? Okay. So when you think about it, you got to have currency that grows with you, because the older you get, the more expensive it becomes. And then again, we're creating the Herbalife of healthcare with our home-based business. These are the reasons people join CoinMD. They want a better experience. They want more choices. Their health care rates are increasing faster than their annual income. 70% of bankruptcies are filed because of healthcare. Healthcare destroys the finances of families in our country. It's an epidemic level. It's terrible. Some people just say, I want to live a healthier lifestyle, Tom, and I can't afford it. I want to make more money so I can live a healthier lifestyle. Some people just want a lucrative home-based business. They say, Tom, I'm into health. This is in my wheelhouse. You look at Miriam, or you look at just all the people that we have on here that are very health conscious, very health oriented people. This is where they want to be. So here's the 5 reasons to join CoinMD. Pretty straightforward. We give you savings with coin rewards. We give you choice of healthcare. We give you trust with blockchain technology. Some of the stuff that we're doing with blockchain, folks, is revolutionary. It's evolutionary. It's moving beyond where the industry even is right now. We're going to give you freedom with a home-based business. But I think the big thing, that the reason why you're going to join this is because you're going to say, Tom, I want to be a stay-at-home dad. You know, I want to be able to spend time with my family, and that's my family right there in front of our family farm. And I can't imagine spending more time with my employer than I do my kids. I can't imagine spending more time away from the farm than, you know, it's like, why have a farm when you're going to spend 60 hours a week sitting in a cubicle? You know, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I'd rather spend, 100 hours, you know, looking out at that beautiful lake and working right there. You see that little sitting area over there that has that black umbrella kind of hanging over it? I call that my POHO. You know what that stands for? Pool office, home office. Okay, that's my POHO right there. So if you ever see me sitting out there in a picture, that's what I call my POHO right there. But anyway, have you ever heard of Bitcoin? Of course you had. You know, if you'd invested 1,000, 2,000, I think today you'd have 154 million. You know, would you really care what your healthcare costs are? Would you be taking better care of your body? Would you have less stress and wrinkles? Folks, do you know what causes wrinkles? You know what causes wrinkles? When you go like this. Look at me. Watch me. So when you look at your bills every month and you squint, you go, get a bill. You know, folks, that's what causes wrinkles. Okay, when you don't care about your bills and you have enough money, you don't squint at them and wrinkle your face at them. Okay, but we know that most of you would be traveling to healthier destinations. The question is, would you be surrounding yourself with people who are more motivated and healthy? And I just tell people that if you had more time and more money, would you take better care of yourself? How many of you would answer yes? Okay, if you had more time and more money, how many of y'all would have a personal trainer? How many of y'all would have a personal chef? You know, just to reduce your stress, how many of you all would have a personal driver who drove you everywhere? I hate driving. I can't wait to have a driver. You know, it's like, I just think that's like the coolest thing. But I say the answer to that is oh, yes. If I had more money, more time, I would take better care of myself. And that's why we do home-based business, folks, so we can do that. But smart currency for wealth care, save money, healthcare choices, trust, opportunity, and freedom. You all know if we don't have any, if you don't have your health, you don't have wealth. And that's why we call it smart currency for wealth care. And with that said, let me just jump out. I want to just chat with a few people before we kick it off here tonight. I think you've seen enough tonight that, you know, cryptocurrency is going to be big. Blockchain technology is going to be highly disruptive. CoinMD, we're at the right place at the right time, you know, and folks, we have a recorded presentation. Just get with the person who invited you. They can get you a 45-minute presentation where I go through this entire slide deck and spend a lot more time developing it. But there's a lot of content here that y'all will want to learn about, you know, every aspect of our business. The membership plans, I think, are very important that we have. You'll want to go through those. Our 3-step system on how you become successful. You know, the compensation plan, you may want to learn about that as well. You can go to CoinMD.net, and there's a presentation, CoinMD.net. You can see our compensation plan. You know, but we've got everything in order, and we've got a really great program. But let me do this. I want to jump out to a few people while we've just got a little bit of time left. Let me see. I'm going to go over to Jimmy real quick, say hi to Jimmy. Sorry, Jim, I couldn't get your QR code scanned there, but how are you doing tonight?
Good. How are you, sir?
I'm awesome. So what'd you learn tonight? You learn anything new tonight?
Oh, a lot. It's really amazing. Like Ricardo was saying, at first, I do know cryptocurrency, but not in detail like that. And I don't understand what I know is. And I do understand blockchain. So I didn't know crypto stand for like secure. Because a lot of people like crypto, they look like, oh, that's fake money. That's like ghost money. And I guess the mining, all the differences that you explained, and, you know, all the disruption, you know, that's very neat. So it's actually happening right now. So it's It's not the future; it's actually happening already. So, but thank you for the teaching. I learned a lot. I really love it. I feel like I have more confidence in the overall business. I have confidence already, and I learned a lot from like YouTube. Like Ricardo was saying, I go YouTube, I learn, and I study myself. I join in, he learn here and there. Definitely, thank you very much, Tom, for taking your valuable time and teaching us, little by little. And thank you so much for that.
Very good. Thank you, Jimmy. Thanks for being on. Hey, Ricardo, can you make me host? I think we have your face on screen now. Either it's my computer's locked up, but can you see if you can switch it around to where, or that's better? Let me see if I can. Yeah, mine's still not working. I'm not able to switch the spotlight. I don't know if we're seeing that, but let me jump down to Angela Hansen real quick. Say hi to you, Angela. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm awesome.
Good.
Did you learn anything new tonight?
Yes, always.
Very good. So you still got Bridget there. What's going on, Bridget?
How's it going?
Are you renting a room there now, or what's going on?
I am. I don't want to leave. It's awesome.
I hear you. It's a good time there, but great. So Angela, just talk a little bit about what's got you excited about cryptocurrency. What kind of challenge in life is going to help you overcome I think we get into a business where the business will create a solution on our life, but what's the challenge that CoinMD and cryptocurrency in general is helping you overcome?
Well, Tom, first of all, the peer-to-peer and the no centralized control of cryptocurrency has me so excited that it's global, that I can send money to China in a matter of seconds, and it's the same value here as it is there, with no intermediary bank, no third-party fees, no exchange, no Western Union. So that's just going to change everything globally. I'm super excited about that. But as far as my healthcare for CoinMD, I'm thrilled for that, for sure. I haven't had insurance this whole year. Humana dropped their private plans the last part of 2016. So I've just been kind of going at it, paying cash for anything that I need, which, isn't much. I'm generally a healthy person. And I also am really excited to have the choice of having any alternative medicine or holistic or naturopathic if I want, and be able to use my CoinMD to pay for that. So I'm just absolutely thrilled to tell people about this, and it's solving some major problems for me and giving me some solutions. I'm glad to be here, Tom.
Awesome. Well, it's great to have you online with us. We appreciate you spending time with us tonight. Great job on Women of Wealthcare on Sunday night. Angela works with a few other women that host an incredible call. It's Women of Wealthcare. It's every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Definitely something you want to plug into. I'm going to find I got somebody that's off video that I'd like to say hi to. But Chelsea, are you able to talk by chance? Chelsea Holen? Are you there, Chelsea? I think I keep unmuting her and she keeps unmuting herself. Chelsea, are you there? She's not there. Let me say hi to Tanya Lawrence real quick. Tanya, are you able to talk for a minute?
Yes. Good evening. How are you?
I'm awesome. How are you doing tonight?
Wonderful.
Well, world-class job the other night working on hosting. I think everybody was super excited the way you did it. I just want to congratulate you on how you handled the call the other night to step up and take on one of the biggest calls of the week is no easy feat, but you did a great job, and I just want to congratulate you on that.
Oh, thanks. We got a great team, a good team effort. So thank you.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, that's what about teamwork makes the dream work. So what big emotional challenge or solution is CoinMD going to provide for you, say over the next, 24 to 48 months? What do you see happening with your CoinMD business and cryptocurrency in general?
Well, a very, very close and dear to my heart person is my godmother. She is currently suffering from breast cancer and a myriad of other complications due to it. I was speaking to someone today who is very interested in accepting CoinMD as a digital currency, she has a non-traditional medicine practice that helps people get cured from cancer. She helped one of my friends with 4th stage pancreatic cancer become healed. And so I just really, really hope that there's options out there for people that we all care about to get access to any type of medicine that they want, even if their insurance is not covering it. So I just hope that we are just on track. I know we're on track, but that we're able to really help people who have a need and who are suffering, because the chemo is hurting her every time she takes it and killing her intestines, other organs, and she's really suffering. So this is near and dear to my heart.
Gotcha. Awesome. Well, it's great having you online, and we'll put some prayers out there for her. I actually went through chemotherapy myself, and when I was 30 years old, and I remember reading a book by Bernie Siegel, and he said, some people get cancer and want to die, some people get cancer and worry themselves to death, and some people get cancer and want to live. And I just tell everybody who's got it, I just feel like we kind of create it in our lives, and it's up for us to uncreate it. And I think we do that through tremendous family support and prayer, and really finding a reason to live. And my daughter just happened to be born 2 days after I got diagnosed, so cancer didn't stand a chance against me because I had a lot to live for. But certainly our prayers will go out to her, and thanks for sharing that with us. But it definitely is something. And I mean, when you look at the cost, I remember the cost of mine was like $140,000. And, at the time, fortunately, we had some insurance, but wow, that would have just been devastating financially if you didn't have it. And I know that we've got people on this call that have been through devastating financial situations, because of healthcare. And that's another reason why I tell people I'm accumulating CoinMD, because I know that as we get 30, 40, 50,000, businesses around the world, and I tell everybody our healthcare marketplace is going to take 3 to 5 years to build. It's not going to build overnight. I mean, in 3 years, maybe it'll reach a certain size to where we'll be like, wow, we've got providers all over the world. But there will be a time, folks, when you look back on it, our goal is quality, not quantity. Okay. We just don't want to be another eBay or another Amazon with so many. I like Amazon because they kind of weed out the bad people, but you still get some characters on Amazon. I want to know that, Michael has referred the provider, or Vernon and Mary have referred the provider, or Lucille has referred the provider. If I know you all have referred them, it's probably somebody that you know well, you feel good about, they've treated you well. You're not going to refer a doctor that made you wait 2.5 hours, or a healthcare provider that made you wait or didn't treat you right. It's my hope that you won't refer those people, because, and you refer the people that have taken real good care of you. But let me say hi to Michael Keksmathy.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing tonight?
We're doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. That's anytime I'm on a webinar, I'm excited about what we're doing. I mean, we're out there changing the world and planting seeds, and I think you're going to see the result of what's going on with CoinMD in the next 3 to 5 years is going to be absolutely amazing. The impact it'll have around the world on people's health. They say, man, if you could change one person's life, that's worth the business plan in itself. But I think we're going to do a lot more than that. But tell us a little bit about what is CoinMD to you, what's got you excited about it, and what's the number one problem that you want it to solve in your life?
Well, the number one problem I'd like to solve in our lives is a really good retirement, as well as being able to afford the healthy lifestyle. We've been organic for the last 6 years, and it, like you say, it's expensive. And so having all these options and choices is really an answer to prayer, as well as the business opportunity. Everybody needs this, and it's a slam dunk, and we just really love you and appreciate you for it.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Appreciate you. And, you're right, folks. It is expensive to live healthy. I tell everybody, if you've ever bought almond butter or kale, kale's more expensive than iceberg lettuce. Almond butter's absolutely insane. It's like liquid gold, I think. Definitely when you get into the healthier lifestyle, buying organic vegetables, fortunately we grow them here. But I want to say hi real quick to the selfie king, Brad Kidd. What's up, Brad? How are you doing? I don't think you have a microphone on there, do you? I don't have your microphone on. Do you have a microphone? I can't hear you. You had your hand up. I figure you want me to call on you, but I can't hear you. You don't have a microphone. So come back in on your phone. Use your phone and come back in on it. Maybe we can chat with you. Let me go over to, let's see. Is it Kenneth Weaver? Kenneth, it's your first time on the call. I don't recognize your name, but are you here for the first time? Kenneth, can you hear me? Trying to unmute. There you go. No, still can't hear you. Huh, I might be having a little bit of problem on my side on the computer, but there we go. I heard somebody. Nope. Well, let me try somebody else, see if I can get this thing to work. Let me see. Tommy Stiles, are you there? Are you driving down the road? And he's got his microphone off. Let me go up to Mary Thorpe real quick. Mary, are you there?
I am.
Awesome.
Hi, Tom.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. It's really fun to be listening to you and to learn. I learned what nodes are tonight. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, crazy. Go to bitnodes.com, bitnodes.com. I mean, it's like the coolest website. You get to see all the nodes around the world, and it's actually a pretty cool website. So bitnodes.com. You can become a Bitnode geek tonight.
Okay, good. And I never knew I'd never even heard of TCP/IP before learning from you. And I just was talking about it the other day with somebody. So anyway, I love being here tonight. I love you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm excited, and I really feel like this company is in your wheelhouse. What do I mean by that?
I don't know for sure, but what I'm going to say is one of the things.
I mean, you're in a natural holistic wheelhouse is like the wheelhouse that's on a boat. You know, it's kind of like the helm house, but it's like you're fine. I feel like you're kind of captaining your own boat now with this opportunity, and you feel a lot more comfortable at the wheel, with this opportunity. So when I say wheelhouse, that's I guess a sailing term or a boat term, but it means you're at the helm, you're the captain of your ship right now. But it's pretty cool to see how happy you are in doing what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you. What I was going to say is that one of the other things that I learned from you was to diversify, and being able to increase my coins with the use of being healthy and living a healthy lifestyle, and talking to people about digital currency who've never heard about it before. That's one of the things that I really love, and building, being part of building this medical healthcare marketplace. That's my kind of thing. So
very cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Awesome. My pleasure. Great having you online. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Tom. One of my friends is here tonight too, from
Who's
Chicago.
that?
I'm really excited.
Who's that?
His name is Jamal Mohammed.
Jamal Mohammed. Welcome, Jamal.
He's on the phone, and I wouldn't have invited him had you not sent that text out tonight. So thank you a million.
Yeah, when I send out those texts, I hope that people will cut and paste them and send them out themselves. But yeah, I sat down in the jacuzzi and invited a couple hundred people, and that's all you can do. You just keep inviting and hope one day your friend comes home and sees that private message and says, you know what, I've had a crappy day. I think I'm ready to learn about this. And they sit down and actually watch it. You have to get people when they're ready. And that's one of the things that I do pretty consistently every day is I send out 25 to 50 private messages every day. I write up something new, and 50 people get the same message every day. and it's kind of like, I don't know, I love fishing, you know, and maybe it's kind of like that, but I'm fishing for people that are looking for the right opportunity. And so it's exciting. But let me see if I got Dr. Dennis. Are you available to talk at all? Dr. Dennis, you there?
Sure, I'm here.
Awesome, man. It's great seeing you online with us. I know you're here a whole bunch. You're always on our webinars, but I'd love to, you know, the healthcare marketplace that we're launching is going to have everything from A to Z, from traditional medical care to holistic, to natural, to yoga, massage, health food stores, health clubs, mountain biking stores. If you hold health related events, you can put them on the marketplace. Healthy retreats. You know, you think about Anna Sarova and some of the health resorts that she hangs out with down in Nepal and in Thailand. You know, those types of places will be on our healthcare marketplace. Medical tourism, you know, dental facilities. I mean, you just think of all the possibilities of what we can have on there. Of course, we have our core health products, people that have nutrition. I'm sure people that sell water filters will be on there. Dr. Dennis, what will you have on our healthcare marketplace? What are you going to be offering?
Well, in brief, I specialize in metaphysical energetics. So that is people that understand or want spiritual work, which is where disease starts in spirit, can come and see me for energetic balancing. And I'm trained as a physician of Asian medicine, and I've also got a background as a professor for about 20 years in health and exercise science. And so I bring both the medical and the mystical side together. And we do a lot of good work. And, we actually have a free community clinic on Wednesdays that people come to learn about what we do. And we already accept CoinMD and Bitcoin here at the clinic.
Very cool. So when I come to the healthcare marketplace, and what am I going to search for? What key terms am I going to search for to find your business?
It might be natural medicine or acupuncture or Asian medicine or matrix energetics or qigong. Any of those should hook into it.
Qigong, does that come with chicken or beef? Just joking.
It comes with Asian medicine. It's actually one of the 5 branches of Asian medicine. And most people aren't aware of it. They mostly focus on acupuncture, but 80% of the medicine is actually the energetics of the herbs. And the Qigong is exercise movement that generates the energy that one can project and resonate into another person to change their frequencies. And I often tell my students that allopathic medical schools ought to have a sign over the blackboard in their classrooms that say, just like Bill Clinton had, it's the economy stupid. They should have a sign that says it's the frequency stupid. And that's what we work with, are frequencies.
Very cool. Very cool. So I type in natural medicine. Is this something that I can do over video conference with you? Do you ever do video conference work with people, or is this something that I got to be present with you?
Either one. Work halfway around the world. Got other doctors calling me for consultation and help with how to use crystals, and also I can do what's called Tong Ren. Tom Tam is an energy healer that I learned from how to project distance healing, and so we can talk on the phone. I'm in LA, you can be in Bangkok or Vietnam, and I can help you with your energy balance and changing your energetic patterns or your frequency sets.
I need time zone help when I'm in those areas. I can tell you that. I'm on the wrong side of the clock every time I go there.
We can actually get rid of jet lag energetically pretty easily.
I'll be searching you out on the marketplace because I needed that this last week for sure after being in Asia for 3 weeks. So cool. That's cool. So I'll come on there and I guess you'll have packages, and I can go on there and select a package and purchase. Maybe you're featuring 2 or 3 of your favorite packages, and 20% will be deducted in CoinMD, or you might be willing to accept more than that. It's the providers folks are required to take a minimum of 20% in CoinMD. But if they want to take 100%, they can too. So they can change that in their back office for their different products. And then ultimately I go to the shopping cart and I can pay the balance with credit card or Bitcoin will be the other options. And so a very simple process. Your wallet is integrated with your shopping cart. You don't have to scan any QR codes or cut and paste any account numbers or anything. The coins are automatically integrated with the wallet and the shopping cart, which is nobody's done that before. And we've got something that's pretty cool. If I have time, I'll put a video in the chat there. But Dr. Dennis, thanks for sharing that. It's great having you online with us.
Oh, you bet. Thanks for asking me, Tom. And I'll throw the link up in the chat for our free community clinic Wednesdays.
That's awesome, man. People can attend by video conference, or they have to be there?
No, by Zoom.
By Zoom. Okay, so it's a Zoom one. All right, awesome. Yeah. Very good. I'll stop by and talk to one more person, and we'll wrap it up here. Coach Bud, what'd you learn tonight?
Oh my gosh, more than I wanted to learn. Here's the great thing. The way you teach it, and it's just amazing because it just brings everything together in your mind, and what's so complicated for many people. I was in this industry for quite a while before I heard you, and it just started to make sense. So thank you for that. But the best part about it is I'm so thrilled that you know all that and I don't have to. And I can make money in CoinMD without knowing all that stuff. But knowing it in the back of my head and in my heart, it just gives me, that validation and justification that I'm in the right place. But again, to know that our leaders of our company know all this stuff and are building our company the right way, but also to know that especially new people, they don't need to know this to make money. All they need to do is follow the simple 3-step system and use the tools, and they can all make money. So that's just amazing. So you just have the whole thing. So thank you so much.
That's awesome. I appreciate that. And there's probably technical people that were cringing the way I was explaining it tonight. But honestly, folks, the way I explained it tonight is really all you need to know. And then as you start learning it and you want to get into the real technical stuff, you can get as geeky as you want in this industry, because man, you can get totally geeked out. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in creating wealth for my family and generally understanding why this stuff works and what it's going to affect and what it's going to disrupt. That's as important to me as understanding, all the different proofs of works and proof of scripts and nanohertz and gigahertz and petahertz and all that garbage. You can take that. I don't need that. I got Control V and Control C on my keyboard. I'm good. But Bud, great having you online. Excited. I know Bud's been doing some training calls and presentations and has been one of our great key players with the company. And so if you haven't plugged into what he's doing, he's got a great way of training people and teaching people how to do this network marketing business online. A lot of people say, well, Tom, why do you do it online? I want to sit in my lounge pants, my flip-flops, and honestly, I don't want to sit in Atlanta traffic. I know you might call me crazy, but I don't want to sit in Atlanta traffic. I definitely don't want to sit in Bangkok traffic because it's a lot worse than Atlanta traffic. But I will tell you, I like being home with my family. I like having the opportunity to see all these beautiful faces from all over the world. We have people from New Zealand. We got people from about 4 or 5 different countries on here right now. There are people watching this presentation on Tuesday right now. So if you are a worrywart, be assured that Tuesday is coming because there's already people there, and everything will be all right. But excited about being able to share a little bit of cryptocurrency information. Monday night is going to be a power pack night with a little bit different twist on education. So make sure you plug in, make sure you get your people here. Don't complain that we didn't cover the full presentation. Don't worry about it, folks. This is your first time. We will get you involved in learning about CoinMD. But I think the big thing I learned from one of my mentors, a guy named Larry Benet, he says, be a value creator first, okay? we're not here to sell you anything, folks. We're here to create value for you first. And if you like that, if you want to be a value creator, this is a great business to be in, you know. And I just tell everyone that, you know, be a value creator, show people how this business is done, show them what cryptocurrency is. And ultimately what will happen is people will be drawn to your business. They will want to be a part of what you're doing. And so that to me is one of the great things about these webinars, and being able to do it the way we're doing it is being able to share education, helping you get experienced, and then ultimately helping you get engaged in the business. And you know, once you develop that confidence level where you feel like, hey, I really do believe I want to start sharing this with people. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up there. I know we've got some events up in Baltimore, Maryland on Thursday night, Sherman, Texas for lunch on Thursday. I'm not sure. We may be doing something in Dallas on Thursday night as well. That's not confirmed yet. I don't know if it is or not, but we'll find out. But just excited about the holidays coming up, 2018. I sent an email out there. That's nice, bud. We're going to get you some medical. We'll get you some dental work with CoinMD, buddy. Yeah, I was wondering what the Yoders were laughing about. Now I see it. It's not Halloween, bud. Put the teeth back away. But awesome having everybody online. Have a great night. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back here. Thursday we've got calls. Tuesday we've got calls. Wednesday will be our next super call night. Plug your people in. Folks, if you focused on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday and invest 5 hours a week in this business, in 90 days you could change your life. In 90 days, just simply share this business with people. Have them come meet your family. Get their questions answered. Everybody's asking about cryptocurrency now. You know they are. They're watching Bitcoin skyrocket. They're sitting on the sideline. And the reason they're sitting on the sideline is they're afraid to ask because they don't want to seem stupid. Look at people and say, do you know anything about Bitcoin? They say no. Say, you got to come to our support group. We've got a Bitcoin denial support group where you can come and confess your sins. You know, you can come here and say, I'm sitting on the sideline. I watched it go from 1,000 to 17,000. I got to admit, but we don't want people to do that. We want people to create wealth. So that's it, folks. Have a great night. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here over the next week in some of the webinars. Get back with the person who asked you to be here. We got lots of videos, lots more to share with you, but we don't have enough time tonight. Take care, everyone. Have a good night.
It was awesome.
Good night, everyone. Say good night.
Buenas noches.
Good night, everyone.
I love that.
Good night.
Good night.
Buenas noches.
But you are so funny. You are a character.
No idea.
So funny.
Gotta have fun.
Hey, Ruthie. Hi, Benjamin.
Hello, Lucille. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, good night.
Hi, Eric. Okay, see.
I have no idea.